Time for some trivia here on Dolphins Today. Here is the question of the day. Who is the Dolphins' all-time leading wide receiver? I'm going to unveil the answer a little bit later on in the show, but comment who you think it is, and the first person to get it correct, I will give a shout-out on Sunday's show. Welcome into Dolphins Today. I'm your host, Will Scott. And Dolphins fans, if you haven't already, please hit that big red subscribe button right now. We've gained about 1,000 subscribers in the last week. Let's keep it going because we're having a lot of fun here on Dolphins Today. And a big reason you should subscribe is we're going to break down every rumor we hear out there about your Miami Dolphins. And there's been a rumor that's been floating around as of late about Deebo Samuel potentially coming to the Miami Dolphins. Deebo, obviously one of the best wide receivers in the league. He wants a new contract from the 49ers, has yet to get one like Tyreek Hill just did from the Dolphins, like Stephon Diggs just got from the Bills. Does not have a contract. Might be a little bit unhappy about that over in San Francisco. So now the Deebo to Miami rumors have begun, mainly in part to the fact that his old offensive coordinator is now the new head coach in Miami, Mike McDaniel. So Deebo connected to the Dolphins. A lot of people talking about it. I've seen it on Dolphins Twitter now the last couple weeks. Even after the Tyreek Hill trade, Dolphins fans, a lot of them at least, want a Deebo Samuel trade. And yesterday, take a look at this. Deebo has unfollowed the San Francisco 49ers on Instagram. Not only that, he has wiped his Instagram of every single post of him in a 49ers uniform. You see that one football picture he has up there? That's from the Pro Bowl. No 49ers photos on his Instagram. And you might think I'm overreacting to this, but look, when you have a girl you have a crush on, right, and you look on her Instagram and all the photos are gone of her boyfriend, they probably broke up. So there might be something to this, and not to mention that Deebo Samuel was hanging out with Raekwon Davis in Miami the other night. Interesting. Deebo, as I mentioned, one of the best wide receivers in the league, coming off of a 1,400-yard season, 6 touchdowns. But what makes Deebo so special is he can also run the football, 8 rushing touchdowns, 365 rushing yards, and he became that type of player with Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel kind of created a wide back position for Deebo Samuel in San Francisco. So I'm sure if Deebo were to come to Miami, either in a trade or next year in free agency, that would be implemented with the Miami Dolphins as well. So let me ask you, Dolphins fans, do you want Deebo Samuel in Miami? This is the pinned comment on today's video, so you're going to be hit with an ad break here in the next few seconds. During the ad break, take advantage of that. Go down and type your Y for yes or you're in for no. Do you want Deebo in South Beach? Let's break down 9 reasons why these rumors might be legit, and obviously the number one reason, his old offensive coordinator is the new head coach in Miami, and Deebo very close with Mike McDaniel. Here's what he said after Mike got hired by the Dolphins. I talked to him for the past few days, right before he got hired by the Dolphins. I love that guy to death. One of the best coaches I've ever been around. And he's not just a coach, but he's a mentor. He's a leader. And he's a guy that I love to be around outside of the stadium as well. So that is a big reason why the Dolphins are one of the teams being linked to Deebo Samuel as the Deebo Samuel trade rumors kind of ramp up here. Wes Welker, his old wide receiver coach, now the new wide receiver coach in Miami. He was the wide receiver coach in San Francisco. Mike McDaniel brought him and John Embry over from San Francisco. So all of these connections with Deebo Samuel's team here in Miami. Also, Raheem Mostert, his old pal back over there in San Francisco, the new Dolphins running back, and River Carecraft as well, the new Dolphins wide receiver, one of the many free agents that they've brought in. And the list just goes on and on. Deebo called the Dolphins to recommend Mike McDaniel that they would hire him. They had lunch together in Miami a couple weeks ago. Those two remain very tight. Take a look at this. Photo confirmation that these two had lunch together. You see those palm trees in the background. They're in South Beach having lunch in Miami. Niners fans, by the way, in some spaces this morning were freaking out on Twitter, these Twitter spaces. Twitter spaces are so much fun. Like, whenever I'm just chilling at the crib and a Twitter space pops up, I tend to tune in and listen to it. It's fun to listen to other fan bases freak out, as us Dolphins fans have just been chilling this entire free agency, enjoying all the moves. But Niners fans, very concerned that Deebo might leave for Miami. And by the way, Deebo has hired a realtor in Miami. He wants a house there. Deebo's saying that, you know, he just trains in Miami. There's nothing to that. But I don't know. Maybe Deebo can be a 2023 free agent target if he doesn't get traded. I tend to lean more toward pursuing him in free agency next year if he's available. And he will be available if he can't get a contract extension with the 49ers or if he doesn't get traded. But how are they going to pay him? You just gave Tyreek Hill $120 million, and then you're going to have to pay Deebo a similar contract. Take a look at this contract projection that was put together by my friend Chase Sr., who hosts the 49ers Report. Deebo probably going to get something in that $120 million range, much like Tyreek Hill got. So you're going to pay Hill, you're going to pay Deebo, not to mention after spending over $300 million in new money contracts this free agency. And if Tua is your guy, you're probably going to have to pay Tua too. So I don't understand how they would get that type of money to pay Deebo Samuel, but you never know. So let's unveil this trivia answer. The Dolphins' all-time leading wide receiver. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to go down, get your answers in. The first one that commented correctly, I'm going to give a shout-out to you on the next show. The answer is super duper Mark Duper, over 8,800 yards. One of many Dolphins legends. I miss seeing Moreno Duper. Well, that's a lie because I wasn't around when those two were playing. But I'm sure a lot of you missed seeing those two guys play. By the way, did y'all see Teron Armstead rocking that Dan Marino jersey when he was introduced to Miami? That was awesome, man. I need one of those throwbacks. Got this throwback shirt, though. Here's what the wide receiver depth chart would look like with Deebo Samuel. You got Tyreek Hill. I'm getting chills just looking at this. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Deebo Samuel. Who is stopping that offense? Nobody. That is a Super Bowl offense right there. Good luck stopping it. Fastest show on turf if somehow Chris Greer can pull this off. And the great thing about Deebo is, yeah, I mean, he's a top wide receiver, but you can put him in the slot, let him go to work. You would have two of the biggest playmakers in the National Football League on the same team. Not only that, but guys that you can have run the football as well. They can be all over the field making plays. That would be so much fun to watch. Dolphins fans, please like this video if you love the Dolphins. We are the best Dolphins YouTube channel. New content every single day, so give us a like if you love the Fins. Here's what a potential trade might look like. So I wrote this up. I also would like to mention that I said that third-round value was good value for Devontae Parker. Unfortunately, that video never went out because Devontae got traded the day before we were going to put that video out. So there's no proof that I know what I'm talking about with trades. So here's my best shot at this, though. A 2022 third-round pick. The Dolphins have already kind of mailed in this draft. Who cares? Just give them another pick from this year's draft. A 2023 first-round pick. The Dolphins have 2 first-round picks next year and a 2023 second-round pick. So you would still, even after this trade, have 1 first-round pick in 2023. But I think it's going to take a package like this, maybe even a player included with 3 draft picks to land Deebo Samuel. So would you rather trade for him right now? Don't wait until free agency where he could sign with any one of the 32 teams in the NFL. Go get him now, give him a massive extension, have him be a Dolphin for the next 4 or 5 years, or would you rather take your chances and wait to add him in free agency? Let me know what you think. Type your T for trade or your FA for free agency. I don't think it's worth trading for Deebo. I mean, yes, you have the draft capital for next year to land him. You definitely don't have any draft capital this season. I don't think it's worth trading for him, not because of what it would take to get him, but because you're set at wide receiver. You already have the best wide receiver room in the NFL with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Ced Wilson. You don't need Deebo, but he sure would be nice. Dolphins fans, thanks for tuning in. We will see you soon here on Dolphins Today. This has been your host, Will Scott. Go Fins.